Welcome to the Family Geekery Podcast, a podcast for geeks from a family of geeks. We talk about comics, video games, and anything else geeky. I'm Danny.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm sick.
And I'm
Hi,
not.
sick.
I've been dodging all your sicknesses.
Yeah. Anyways.
But that's not what we're talking about.
No. Hey, this is our episode on sick update.
This is our new format.
So sick.
New format. We're going to start by telling you guys about our health. No.
After 150 episodes, we've decided to change from anything geeky to complete nonsense about health because we're not health professionals.
Hey, you're going to have to give me some leeway. Oh, you're going to have to give me grace. That's what the Mormon wives say. You're going to have to give me some grace on this one.
All right. I've got a limited supply of grace. I'll try to dole it out appropriately. But what are we doing this week?
Little catch up.
Yeah, we're doing a
little mustard.
Little catch up. So.
Oh my god.
What?
We both made the same joke. Me and Dad earlier.
We're 3 for 3 with the.
Oh, I thought you meant you and me. I'm like, I said the mustard thing. You said ketchup.
No. Before we
Care to
started.
share?
Because Mom asked what we were doing, and we both said a little ketchup and a little mustard at the same time.
Oh, nice. I must have been there spiritually because I just brought it to the pod.
There you go. Yeah, but we celebrated 150 episodes last week with a big episode with the whole family talking about Disney. And in the process of making that one, we had to take a couple weeks off just for logistical purposes. So we didn't have Geeky Weeks for several weeks in a row. So I figured we'd just take some time to catch up on all the Geeky Week things that we've done and just kind of share with each other and with the listeners what we've been watching, what we've been consuming, what we've been reading, what we've been playing, as we always do. So
yeah,
I figure we just round robin around, pick a subject, and then kind of each of us will share what we have done in that subject realm of stuff. So where should we start?
Let's start with TV shows because that's what I have first on my list.
Okay.
Selfishly.
We'll do it. So you get to kick it off then.
All right. I'll start with the one that I watched more recently, and that's Traitors Season 1. So, Traitors is a reality TV show that's been around for a couple of years, and for whatever reason, I think not asking for your Peacock account, I've not watched it. So, with the recent news of casting announcements for Season 4 and a bunch of commentary and everyone talking about it, especially like in Smosh. I noticed Smosh has been talking about Traitors a lot recently when they play their like werewolves games and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, Big Brother is like my favorite TV show of like all time, and this is like in the same ballpark, so I gotta watch it. And I watched Season 1, and I gotta say, I loved the whole premise of the show. I hate Suri Fields. I know she's a queen to the Survivor people. I know she's like the best player to never have won, but like, hate Suri Fields. She's I don't know. She's just like so good at these games and so selfish. But she is very talented at social games like that. So it's okay. But I also knew her. She was on a season of Big Brother, and so anyways, that's my whole thing. Suri Fields, you must be great at Survivor. You're great at all these games, but like, stay away, bro. Stay away from my Big Brother and Bachelor people. Come on. Anyways, so that's that on Traitors.
Nice.
Do you know Suri Fields?
Paused for a reaction, and I gave you 0.
I did. Yeah, no reaction.
I'm still trying to figure out what a Shuri Field is.
Her name is Sari Fields.
Okay.
She's a very iconic Survivor player, and I know you've seen a couple seasons, but she's been on like 4 seasons or whatever, and she's gonna be in season 50 of Survivor next year or whenever that is. So.
Oh,
What?
I know her, I think.
Yeah. She's evil.
Which brings up who our guest is next episode on the podcast.
Reveal. No. No.
Stay tuned.
I think she's a phenomenal player at these games. There's a reason why she's on every single reality TV show that has any kind of lying component to it. And that's because she's very talented, and people just start to worship her because she's like a motherly figure. People just bow down, worship her. They know that she's popular, but that don't stop them. They worship that woman. And she stole half of the prize money away from Ari from Bachelor, so kind of crazy.
I guess there's worse things that you could be infamous for.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other shows?
Oh, we're talking about all the shows. Okay.
All the
I'll
shows.
talk about the other one that I've been watching, I finished it. I actually watched it. I binged it in like 2 days, and it's Sirens. It was a limited series on Netflix. Kind of like another one of those rich people problems TV shows, which I love because I don't have to worry about rich people problems. It's fun to pretend to worry about rich people problems sometimes. But that's a really good show. Focuses on 2 sisters, and one of them is like working for this rich lady, and the other one thinks that she's like part of a cult, so she goes in and infiltrates and tries to get her out of there, and everyone just kind of collapses, and basically the 3 main women are like sirens, like from Greek mythology. They're just like men just keep listening to them or whatever. So kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that's all the TV shows I've watched. Well, I have been rewatching Parenthood, which is one of my favorite TV shows, but that's not news. I rewatch a TV show like 7 times a year, so.
All right. How about you, Danny?
Well, I've been watching Love Island USA every night.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It's a lot to keep up with. This is my first time watching Love Island, and it's basically just like Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, that's starting soon.
But my favorite character already got booted off, so what's the point?
So they get booted when they don't have a romance?
No, they get booted differently every week. So one week
What?
the contestants voted them off. Another week the voters voted them off. And then yesterday the voters voted for who was safe, and then it came down to 3 people, and then the contestants voted off whoever they wanted.
Interesting.
So it's like a different way of getting booted each week.
Oh, so the people on the show can't just, like, only appeal to the audience or only appeal to the people in the house. That's kind of cool.
And then if you don't have a couple, it kind of makes you more vulnerable.
Because you're not as entertaining.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, but they recouple every few days. And sometimes the viewers choose who they're coupled up with. Sometimes they get coupled up with people they don't want to be coupled with because America made them.
Oh, that's funny.
American demands it.
Sometimes you get Love Island people on the challenge, which is, like, all about, like, athletic. You know, you get, like, firefighters on that show, and then you have, like, little pretty lady from Love Island, and it's kind of funny to see them. But, like, a lot of them actually do kind of well, and they're, like underdogs sometimes. Like, you may see me as, like, a Love Island person, but I can pull my weight. And sometimes I do. That's all I know about Love Island, though. And a lot of them get to go on the challenge with their exes, and then that causes drama.
Nice.
And that's the fun part.
Nice.
Love some reality television.
Other than that, I've been watching, it's not a TV show, but it's a YouTube series, and it also comes out every day. It's by Ryan Trahan. He's doing 50 states in 50 days.
Whoa.
So, he started in Texas, and he's staying in an Airbnb in every state, like the coolest one, and is ranking them.
That sounds
neat. And then
has he been to Alaska or Hawaii yet?
No.
Oh.
He started in Texas and is kind of going like east,
around.
South, and then probably up. But he's doing it for St. Jude, and his goal was $1 million, like donations, by the end of the 50 days, and he already got $1 million in the first 12 days.
That's awesome.
Wow. Good for him.
So, pretty good.
So he drove home.
But that's my TV shows.
So he drove home?
He's like, thanks, guys.
Is he posting them live? Like, is he editing them and posting them, like, on his travels? Or is it, like, a recap?
They're a day after they're filmed, so he sent all the footage to his editors and then
uploaded
the day after.
Smart.
So, pretty quick turnaround.
Cool.
When do we get editors?
Yep.
That's what I want to know.
We came with one.
I don't want that job anymore. I edited a half-hour YouTube video last night.
You start at half hour, or did you finish at half hour?
That was the finished product.
Wow.
Like, this is a darn sitcom. It's longer than a darn sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah, work. Is that it for your shows, Danny?
Yeah.
All right. I started a new show. Only got a couple episodes into it so far, but it's called Your Friends and Neighbors. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's got an actor in it.
Is it Apple?
Probably, maybe. It's all, I don't know. It's all on Apple
You
TV.
just turn on the TV and you put something on.
Yeah.
And you got them all.
I just tell the TV, find something that I'd like, and it shows me something. And this stars an actor that you may know from Black Mirror. His name is John Hamm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, from Black
From
Mirror.
Black Mirror. I think that's what he's known
No,
for.
but he is in, like, the best Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah,
so.
but if you know, I mean, John Hamm obviously has some pretty serious roles, but he's also just a very skilled comedian also. And this is one of those. The basic premise of the show is that he's some kind of stockbroker or something, very talented, but he gets fired from his job, and he's got a bunch of financial commitments that he needs to take care of, and he finds the easiest way is just to steal all the stuff from all the rich people that he knows. So he's just going into their houses and stealing stuff and then, selling it. So it's
nice.
Pretty funny show. He obviously gets into some shenanigans along the way. And then the other show that we started, and we started this a while back, but then we just binged it to get it over with, was The Residence. And that show was great. It's basically a murder mystery comedy set in the White House.
Oh.
And it's Giancarlo Esposito gets murdered. And
Friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast.
Yep. And the whole rest of the show is they're, interviewing all the people that work in the White House and getting a million different sides to the same story and trying to weed their way through it. And it was really good. It's one of those that
nice.
You don't want a show that kind of redirects you just for the purpose of redirecting you. Hey, it's going to be this guy, and then the next episode, no, it's going to be this guy. So it's easy on that, but the whole thing gets wrapped up at the end in the final episode, and everything that you saw that wasn't the main thing that you saw in each of the episodes. It's like a minor thing in each of the episodes. All comes back to paint the whole story of the murder mystery. So it was really well done.
I love when that happens.
Yeah.
Does it do like a reveal montage?
It's like constant reveal montages. Yes. Especially the final episode.
Nice.
But it's all set around a bird watcher.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so we went through TV shows. Danny, why don't you pick the next category?
Oh.
Oh, put you on the spot again.
We can do games.
Okay. Games we shall. So you're going to start it off for us then?
Yeah, I don't got much because I work and watch Love Island, and that's about it.
That's 2 full-time jobs.
Mood.
Yeah. But in between the two, I've been playing a mobile game called Archero 2.
Oh, nice.
It's really addicting.
It's like one of those like Vampire Survivor types, right?
Sure.
Sure.
It's like you gotta kill all your monsters in your little area, and you level up. But it's addicting.
Have you spent any money on it yet?
No.
Have you watched any ads on it yet?
Maybe a few.
Okay.
But you kind of don't really need to.
All right. So it's just
There's so many different, like, there's like the main, like, chapters. Like, you have a chapter that's 50 levels and you gotta get through it, and then you go to the next chapter. But then there's also like an arena mode, you have guilds, and then you have like 5 other mini modes that will get you rewards. So sometimes I'm a little overwhelmed because I don't know what mode to play because I have to do all of them. But and then they have events. So you have events and then like 5 mini modes and then your regular chapter and then your guild.
That sounds like a third full-time job.
Yeah.
And every time you open the app, you have like 17 chests to open.
I've played games like that.
So you do that while you're watching Love Island?
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's my third full-time job.
A little multitasking.
But that's it.
You haven't played Dead by Daylight with Springtrap in it yet?
I have not. Sounds fun though. Sounds scary.
Scary, oh no.
No computer games for me.
All right. Amber?
Oh, so I haven't really been playing many games outside of my normals. You know, like Marvel Rivals and Sims and Dreamlight Valley. But I've been watching some games. And there was a new FNAF release called Secret of the Mimic. And I started by watching GT Live play it, which is game theory. But I have a little bit of a problem with how they play games sometimes, because it's like a live stream, like re-upload, but they're not the most skilled at games, and they're very thorough because they're trying to find the lore, which makes sense. That's their job. And when they find the lore, that's cool, but it takes them a little while to get through some sections. So I started by watching them, and then I saw that the last couple of days Markiplier started playing it, and because he's a little bit late to Five Nights at Freddy's sometimes, so he's been playing it recently, and I've been finishing it up on there. So I haven't seen the full completed Secret of the Mimic yet, but when I do, I will be very excited, because so far it's really cool. It seems like very similar, like, story type gameplay as Security Breach, which was the big Pizzaplex arcade 80s style kind of one. So it's like that, where it's like a big departure from like, look at the security cameras and shut the door, but they seem to have taken a lot of the complaints about Security Breach, where it's like, buggy and hard to save and not very clear what you have to do. And it seems like they made it a lot better for this game. So, it's really cool to watch. And I guess I've also been playing, like, Sudoku every day.
Yo. Do you have the app?
No, I've got the Discord activity.
Oh.
Because a lot of my friends have been playing, like, daily Wordle on Discord and, like, Discord servers, and I was like, Wordle's kind of boring now. Oh, Sudoku. That'll make you think a little bit more than Wordle does. So I've been playing a little bit of Sudoku every couple days.
We have Farm Merge Valley in our Discord.
What is that?
It's a merge game.
Oh, nice.
But only one person plays it, and it just, every time he plays it, it sends a notification to the whole Discord. And we're all like, can you not?
Throwing games into Discord just makes Discord that much harder to explain to somebody.
Well, yeah. But they're, like, usually easy games like that. Or they're, like, party games like Gartic Phone that are really easy to translate into a Discord call.
It's like when Facebook had games.
I guess,
Facebook games.
Back in the good days.
But now there's Roblox. So there's like a really, really popular farm game on Roblox right now. It's like the most player played game of all time or something like that. It's got like the most active players.
I don't
know.
More than Superhero Factory?
Yes.
I love that one.
That's it for me.
All right, what were we talking about? Games?
Yeah,
okay.
Sudoku.
Yeah.
How are you keeping your mind young these days?
Oh, I gave up on that years ago. Let's see. Playing some Dreamlight Valley, of course, because they make you.
Oh my god, I just realized I'm so annoyed. You have to wait a week after doing that stupid flower quest for the Forgotten to do the next quest for the Forgotten. So I have to wait over a week to get Peter Pan. I'm sorry. I'm annoyed.
Rant level 7.
That's what I get for slacking
real.
on quests.
And let's see. I also recently relaunched Autonauts. I know I've talked about that many times on the podcast. Wish that you guys were more into it, but
I tried it.
It's one of those that's just so satisfying for me. It's automation. I love automation games and coding to solve a problem type games. So that's a guilty pleasure of mine. But I guess the biggest news is I stood in line to get a Switch 2.
Whoa.
And I pre-ordered
one.
Did I tell you about the pre-order?
Nope.
No.
So the night that it was supposed to go on pre-order, I stayed up, and of course it was a midnight launch, so all the people in California, it's just like, just after
9
dinner for
o'clock
them, but for us it's midnight. And I had like 4 tabs open, Best Buy, GameStop, Walmart, and I was promised that Walmart was going to have a good solution, and we've got Walmart Plus, so I figured, they certainly have to give some precedence to us. And it had Target open, and of all the tabs that I had open, most of the time you go and refresh, and it's just out of stock. I actually got it in my cart at Target and got to check out, and it didn't work. I was like, sorry, there's something wrong with your cart. I'm like, yeah, no, there's something wrong with your cart. My cart is fine. My cart's got a freaking video game system in it, and you're not letting me buy it, so there's something wrong with your cart. And Best Buy would let you click on it, and it'd say, okay, you've got like 5 minutes to buy it, and you go to the cart, and nope, something wrong with your cart. I'm like, there's something wrong with everybody's cart except for mine. So I tried that for like 40 minutes and finally gave up, because it kept on promising me that you're going to buy it, and I'm like, so what? So the next day, and that was the night before work day, so I had to go to work. So the next day I go to work, and I'm like, okay, it's just a sign. I don't need one of these, And I'm driving home, and about 4:30, I was like, I guess I'll stop at GameStop just to talk to them. because GameStop had launch day or pre-orders in the store also, so they reserved some of their pre-orders for the store versus on their website. So I was like, I'll go in there. I've got my $5. I got to spend it on something anyways. So I stop in, and they're like, "Hey, are you here to pre-order the Switch?" I'm like, "I don't know. Am I?" He's like, "Well, we've got like 12 of them left." I'm like, 12 pre-orders? Okay. But
I'll buy them all.
But they only had the one without the Mario Kart. So they had just the system only. I was like, that's fine. I'm not a big Mario Kart guy anyways, but the whole appeal.
You got it without Mario Kart?
I don't know if you heard what the whole appeal of the Mario Kart is, but they said if you buy the system with the bundled in game, it's only $50 more. But if you don't and you buy that game later, it's going to be an $80 game.
Right.
So it kind of made sense to go ahead and do it. But they didn't have it, so I was like, that's fine. I've got other games.
But the real appeal of the Mario Kart game is the cow and watching TikToks of people parallel park the cow in different maps.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to look for that.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'll have to first find what TikTok is.
It's like, parking in this city is awful, and then he's playing Mario Kart and he's just like parallel parking. Anyways, continue your story.
Anyway, so I pre-ordered it, and it came out, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. They had a midnight release at GameStop. So the day before the release, I called them up, and I was like, hey, I pre-ordered this, but I don't see it in my account anywhere. Like, I don't have an email. I don't have it in my GameStop account. Like, can I just verify that I actually have a pre-order? Because I paid the $5 or whatever it was, the minimum pre-order.
Yeah.
And he looked up my account, and he's like, yep, got it right here. I was like, okay, cool. And then he spent the next 3 minutes explaining to me how the launch was going to happen at the store. And he explained, hey, we're gonna have a release at midnight, but if you show up early, or you show up earlier that day, you can go ahead and pay the rest of the pre-order, and we give you a receipt, and that way we can have your device already bagged up with your name, with the receipt stapled to it. And you probably heard about that.
Oh yeah, the staple going through the screen.
Right? Yeah, that didn't happen to this store. So, and they said then you just show up at the midnight, and we're going to call your number, and you just walk up and you get it. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. So I stopped in on the way home, paid up the rest, around 4 o'clock or so that day. Paid up the rest, got my little receipt. They said, come back at like 11:30 or something, start lining up. And when I did show back up, they had all these stickers with numbers on them. And as you bought it, you would get a sticker on your receipt with a number on it. And they had 2 different colored numbers. And one was for the system only, and one was for the system bundle with the pack-in game. So I saw that they had they had a couple extra numbers on the other sheet. I was like, hey, do you have any of the, I pre-ordered the system only, but do you have any of the other ones? So he's like, click. Yep, I've got 2 left. So I went ahead and switched to the one with the Mario Kart game.
Oh, nice.
So I showed up there around 11:30. Everybody's lined up. Everybody's super nice. They got 2 lines, one for the red numbers and one for the blue numbers. And they had pizza inside and drinks.
Oh.
And they were super organized. And they just started calling numbers. 5 people come in at a time, get their system, and walk out. And it was just a good old experience.
Wow.
And I haven't played the game since. No. So I loaded it up that night to test it out, because I actually did a couple YouTube videos that night. Had to hit the audience when it's brand new.
Yeah.
And so luckily I didn't have work the next day, because I stayed up probably till like 4 o'clock in the morning doing these videos.
Oh.
And yeah, so I've loaded up a couple times since to play some of the Mario Kart game, and it's Mario Kart, but it's got an open world also, so it's kind of neat. It's kind of like Forza Horizon.
Now you have to try to parallel park.
I've got to find a cow apparently.
Well, there's a cow.
But I've also...
You play as the cow.
But I've also... Oh, you play as the cow. It's not a cowmobile.
No.
Oh, I thought you were parallel parking a cow.
No.
That would be more
The cow is parallel parking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I've also taken advantage of some crazy deals at Temu on some Switch games.
Yo.
So I've got some retro games coming in. They did the Dragon Warrior 1, 2, and 3 bundle, and then the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 bundle on Switch. So I got both of those, and I think it'll be a good system to play those on. So I'm excited.
Nice.
It's a Switch. It's number 2. It's a little bit bigger. It's nothing super crazy, but it was it was an adventure.
I heard that you run a little bit slower on Animal Crossing because the game has more frames on the Switch too.
Oh, more frames per second.
Yeah.
Could be. I haven't played Animal Crossing yet. I haven't played Crossing.
Well, I don't think if you did, I don't think your island would be busy enough for it to notice any system differences.
Probably not. But yeah, that's my story of video games. So.
All right. So when can I get my secondhand one from you?
Secondhand. What?
Switch 2.
Oh. I don't know. That's one of the things that really upsets me about the Nintendo as a company. Is they release the Switch, right? And then several years later they release the Switch OLED, which is enough of an upgrade to make it worth keeping that technology in the next generation of system. But of course they didn't, right? They released the Switch 2 without an OLED screen.
Oh,
drama. Just so that later they can add another $100 to it and have the Switch 2 OLED. So to answer your question, probably when the Switch 2 OLED comes out.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's move on to movies, and to stick with the theme of the person who picks a category going first. I guess I'll go first, unless there's any.
Go for it.
Fine.
All right.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. So I think we talked about Lilo already, right? Probably episode 149. We probably talked about Lilo.
Probably.
We all saw Lilo and Stitch. So moving forward in time from that, I might not have. Maybe I did talk about Ballerina. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
I don't think so.
So Ballerina is the new movie that's set in the John Wick universe, and actually had a cameo from John Wick. And we've seen John Wick 1 and 2. We haven't finished 3 and 4 yet or whatever, but we figured we'd go see Ballerina, your mom and I. And it was a good movie. A lot of action. Good story. And then after that, we saw Amber was there with us. The Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy movie, but very entertaining. If you can read this episode, thank the Phoenicians.
Ha. Ha.
Yeah.
Ha. Ha.
So that was a...
unrelated to the Phoenician Scheme, though.
Yeah, it was a kind of a crazy movie, but very well produced. I liked the pacing of the scenes and stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where, at least for me, you kind of, and this is how a lot of Wes Anderson movies are for me, is you kind of don't really know the overall plot of what's going on, but like you're sitting there and you're enjoying the little bits that you're seeing, you know, like I don't know, like every little scene was a good scene. I just don't know what the whole story was about.
Right.
Kind of wrapped up there at the end, but like, I don't know. Good movie.
Yep. And then over the weekend, I decided I wanted to see the movie 28 Years Later because I heard some good things about it, but I'd never seen 28 Days Later.
Or 28 Weeks Later.
Is that one related?
Yeah.
I saw that, but I didn't see that. But to make a long story short, I watched 28 Days Later 2 hours before 28 Years Later started. So I binged through it, basically.
Nice.
which wasn't super easy because it was on, the only place it was streaming was on Pluto. So I had to watch commercials. But I got through it, and obviously I knew what it was about, but I didn't know what kind of movie it was, and it looked...
Is it zombies?
It's zombies, yeah, but it looked more indie, like British indie, the original one. Now, the 28 years later was excellent. It really was good. It was really worth getting through the first one to go see the second one, not knowing that the second one I didn't see. But
Was it made 28 years after the first one?
It's set 28 years after the first one. I don't know if it's been... I don't think it's been 28 years, because I think the other movie was maybe in the early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the
False
second one,
advertising.
The 28 years later, very very good story. Very good. Like a 12-year-old was the main actor, and he did excellent.
Oh.
The biggest name was probably the dude from Craven the Hunter.
Oh.
Who's from
Quicksilver.
Yeah, Quicksilver, yeah. So he was in it. And but the kid, his son, was the main star of it, and like I said, he did an amazing job. And it told a very good story. And then Ralph Fiennes was in it, and he did an awesome job also. But he had a smaller part. But yeah, I definitely recommend. It's a good movie, even if you haven't seen the other ones, even if you don't know what's going on. You just know, hey, it's an island that is protected from zombies, but it's not protected from zombies if you leave the island.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my list of movies. I'm sure I missed something, but who's going next?
Me, I guess.
All right.
I haven't watched any new movies, but I've watched some old ones. One being Gremlins.
Oh.
Nice.
Your father didn't raise you right.
I've seen it before.
Oh, never mind. Your father raised you just fine.
I watched it again. And then the second movie I rewatched was Split.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
With James McAvoy. And I didn't realize that's the second one.
What do you mean the second one?
There's one before that one? Or Split the first one?
Well, there's like an unrelated related movie.
Right.
But then there's a sequel to Split and a sequel to the other movie that is the same movie.
So that was good. That was a good one.
Nice.
That was like the first thing I seen. Was it Anna Taylor-Joy?
Yeah.
That's like one of the first things I saw her in.
Yeah, that's
She's
one of
youngin'.
her oldest.
She's a youngin'.
Cool.
But that's all my movies. I don't go to the movie theater unless it's something good.
Well, we'll have to see Elio at some point.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think it did so great opening weekend. It's our fault. We didn't see it opening weekend, so it flopped. It's our fault.
Because we weren't in Disney.
You know, I checked the movies today, the listings, because I wanted to see. I could look up in my history of what I watched to remind myself what I watched, because I've slept since then. And the Phoenician Scheme is not even in the theater.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know if it's just because today, because they do a mystery movie Monday. So who knows? It might have been the mystery movie today. But it wasn't in the listing.
Well, so people buy movie tickets to a movie they don't even know what it is?
Apparently so.
You should do that sometime.
I should. I can go right now.
I would not.
Well, I wouldn't use my not free tickets to do that.
Yeah.
But since you guys have your unlimited,
it's probably geared towards.
You guys could just walk out if you don't like it without any regrets.
No regrets.
My Little Pony.
Yeah, right. But is it always like a new movie, or is it like any movie that they have on hand?
I have no idea. It's a complete mystery.
Well, that's your homework. Usually you give us homework. That's your homework.
All right.
Convince Mom to go to one of those. Yeah.
I'll do my best. So, Amber, you're up.
Oh, so I thought I watched more movies than this, but I was kind of like scrolling through Netflix and stuff, also like trying to remember what I watched, but I do remember that I rewatched Now You See Me Too, because Now You See Me, Now You Don't, I think that's what it's going to be called, is coming out soon. And so I wanted just like a little reminder of like those movies, so I watched the Cinema Sins recap of the first one,
Nice.
thinking that it was the one that I remembered more, but actually the second one is the one that I remember more. so maybe I should have gone and rewatched the first one and watched the Cinema Sins for the second one, but it's okay, it's whatever. Neither of them are The Prestige, which is the superior magician movie. That's neither here nor there. Some new movies that I watched Mickey 17, which is the director that made Parasite.
How was that?
And Snowpiercer, I believe. It was really good, honestly. Like, kind of an out there concept, which reminds me of another movie that I watched. So kind of an interesting concept where it's like it's very like political, where it's like, okay, the rich politician wants you guys to go to Mars. So you're going to go to Mars or this planet, whatever, and there's like these aliens there and we have to but it's like it's got really funny moments, and the acting is really great. And I mostly wanted to watch it because of the director, and I've heard like it's probably going to be like put up for an Oscar or something. So really wanted to watch that. And then the movie that I just remembered that I watched was an old Ghibli movie that I saw for the first time, Nausicaa of the Wind Valley, I think it is. And while watching that, I realized that Mickey 17 is very similar to that movie.
Weird.
At least, like, they both have this kind of, like, roly-poly looking alien that is on this planet. And Nausicaa takes place, like, in the far future on Earth. But they're both about, like, hey, we have to, like, communicate with these species, and friendship is better than fighting, and they both had this whole, like, use the baby alien as leverage to, like, get the big alien swarm to stop, which I thought was really funny, and probably a coincidence, but, like, there are a few scenes, like, side by side that, like, are identical. Except one of them is Edward from Twilight, and the other one is a little anime girl. So
Same thing,
right? They sparkle. But that brings me to the next movie. Man, I must be obsessed with space right now because I watched Lost in Starlight on Netflix, which is a Korean animated romance movie. So it's about this Korean astronaut who is like, her mom died on a mission to Mars, and she like grew up wanting to go to Mars and stuff. So this whole time she's like trying to solve this like issue that like the astronauts need to go to Mars, and this whole time she's doing that, she's also like dating this musician, and it's like a really sweet love story. It's like kind of in the same realm of like Your Name and stuff, which are like very iconic. It's a very iconic anime romance movie, but I really liked it. The animation style is like a little different because it's Korean and not Japanese, but once you kind of get used to it, it's really beautiful.
Cool. And
once you start watching it in Korean, it's a lot better because the dubbing was kind of bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got one category left, and that is what have we read? Like comics and books. Who wants to kick this one off?
I'll go for it.
All right.
I've been slacking on books, but that's okay, because I've been reading comic books. I've mostly been catching up on some of my, like, subscriptions from our local comic book store. So I've been reading Psylocke, Magic. I read the last couple issues, or the last couple, like, series of Spider-Gwen. So I'm finally starting to read Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider, because that just ended, and a new Spider-Gwen series is going to start soon, so I need to catch up. I'm like 16 issues behind. But then some new ones that I just started are Gwenpool, but it's Gwen Stacy is back from the dead. And so it's not about Gwendolyn Poole from our universe. It's Gwen Stacy, 616 Gwen Stacy, that's been dead since, like, forever. She's back alive.
Whoa.
So now but then Gwen Stacy from the Spider-Gwen universe is also in 616, and it's very confusing. So there's 2 Gwen Stacys there, and there's Gwen Poole, and now there's the new Gwen Poole. But it's kind of confusing, but they kind of make funny jokes about that. Like Gwenpool, the OG Gwenpool, who can break the fourth wall and stuff because she's, like, from our universe. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Gwen Stacy." Who? Oh, it's Emma Stone. Who? So it's kind of funny. But so I've been reading that, and then a new Emma Frost series came out. And I think it's, like, kind of like a flashback to some things that happened before in the X-Men days of past, you know, the OG X-Men. But it's, like, what Emma Frost was doing during those times, I guess. And also I've been reading some Jeff comics. Because you can't escape Jeff, man.
Jeff.
I hate him in Marvel Rivals. I hate when people play him on my team. I hate when people play him on the enemy team. But man, is that guy so cute and, like, perfect for selling merchandise.
I love it.
Nice.
Yep. Done.
All right. Danny, you got anything to report, reading-wise?
I didn't read anything. Yeah, I didn't. But I can talk about... I went to the Renaissance Fair.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was
That's
really
cool.
hot.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Hotter than it is... No, not as hot as it is now, but it was hot. Yeah, I had some camel jerky.
What? Actual camel?
Yeah.
Whoa. That, to me, sounds like it might be illegal.
It's camel with a K, so it's all right.
What?
I saw some jousting.
Nice.
I saw
Who
some...
won?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I saw some Renaissance furries. They gotta be hot.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, man. But were they Renaissance themed furries, or were they like typical furries?
Both.
Oh,
Nice.
That's cool. I don't know if I've seen a Renaissance furry.
Yeah, props to them.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Hot.
And I got some nachos. And my first Renaissance beer.
Nice. Did you get any mead?
No.
I think I asked her that too.
No. You should get some mead next time.
But that's it. It was too hot.
I bet.
Yeah, they need to do that one a little bit earlier in the spring.
I think they go other places earlier in the spring, but then they save, like, Virginia for, like, peak hot.
Yeah. When I was growing up down in Florida, they'd do it, I want to say, like, February or something like that.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
That'd be
Maybe
nice.
maybe they're still doing that, so they're down there in February, which makes more sense.
I don't know. February here would be like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
Depending on the
We
day.
could have snow on the ground.
Well, snowy
we have
Renaissance.
snow until March.
Snowy Renaissance. You can be in like your fur coats.
I don't know if we don't really have a spring, so I don't blame them. It's kind of a hard time to pick whenever they go.
Yeah, but everyone's nice there. That's all. I didn't read.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go to the Renaissance Fair this year.
Me neither, because I didn't know it was happening.
I went on the last weekend, right in time.
They should tell you that stuff on the radio.
I think they do.
But I listened to the radio a good amount, and I did not hear anything.
They've probably got some kind of social media or something that helps you out with that.
Probably.
I only knew because every weekend there'd be Renaissance people walking around town. Like, you see one at a Target and be like, oh, know where they're going.
Huh. Neat.
Anyways.
All right. So, I don't think I've read any comics recently.
Slackers.
We did go to the comic store over the weekend, and
yeah,
I met Jason Shaw, who is the creator of Snow Monkey, and he's an English teacher who started writing this story to get his students more interested in literature.
Wow.
Oh,
and then
cool.
What a guy.
A publishing company said, "Hey, we'd like to publish that." So good on him. But I have been reading some books, and I think last time we talked, I said I had started a book that was called Control Freak, which was a memoir by Cliff Bleszinski, or Cliff Bleszinski, or Cliffy B, as he's
Cliffy B.
more known for. And so I think I told you just what I had learned so far about him, and that was that he was involved with Epic at the very beginning, and made some games with Epic, and then left just before Fortnite, and went on to make Gears of War, big time title, got really famous for that, and then decided to start his own company, and started a company called Boss Key Productions, and they made some games. The biggest one, I think, was called Lawbreakers. Have you ever heard of Lawbreakers?
Mm-mm.
No.
So they basically came up with the idea of making a hero shooter, and worked really hard on this hero shooter just to find out that another company at the same time was getting ready to release a hero shooter, and that was Overwatch.
Wow, that's unlucky.
Yeah, so it was unlucky, but he had a real good attitude about it, and learned from some smart people about, it. I forget who it was that he talked to later in life, and I think it was. I'm not gonna be able to recall the name or pronounce it, but it's the dude that's famous for Death Stranding and all the Metal Gear Solid games. He's a legend, Japanese.
Yeah, that
legend.
guy.
Anyways, he ran into him at a gaming thing, and he told him a little bit about what happened with his game and stuff. And the guy told him, he's like, "Hey, you made a game, and it was really good, and not many people get to do that. So just be proud of that." So it said it just completely changed his
while holding his multiple Game of the Year trophies. Sorry.
Yeah. But I think he said that there was a game that he did also that
got overshadowed.
Or he had a game that didn't make it, and but it was a pretty neat story. But yeah, it talked about that, and then after he stopped making games, so he was a theater kid growing up, as most game makers are.
Right.
And so he decided to go back into that, and he invested in and co-produced a little show called Hadestown.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, well, that's
Well, that's a much bigger accomplishment than making games.
That's a pretty big whoa, yeah.
At least the gays.
But yeah, so he's doing good. He's living the dream. He's got a comic coming out in July for Image Comics. So
good for him.
We'll have to check that out. It's going to be called Scrapper.
Nice.
And then, so I finished that one, so I had to start something else. And I started reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Did I get it right?
Epic. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm working my way through that. I haven't got into the arena yet. I guess the arena just blew up.
Oh, okay.
So we're getting there. But yeah, that's about it for me, reading wise. So I think that's gonna wrap up our catch up. We're all caught up. So stay tuned for next week. We'll come back with
It's all tied up.
We'll come back with a real episode. With
real one.
With a real topic. But it was good to get through these because we had to catch up, not just for the audience but for ourselves too. I like hearing about what you guys are reading and playing and all that good stuff and watching.
Yep.
So yeah. So we'll have to come up with a topic for next week. But until then, we're going to thank you, as always, for listening. Check us out on our socials. Check out the YouTube channel. Go watch a couple videos that I made at 3 o'clock in the morning. And until next time, peace out.
Peace out.
And geek out.
And geek out.
Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.